Hi, this is Kathy from Craft with Kathy. Thanks for joining me this evening. I'm going to do a quick Tip Tuesday, but before I get started with that, I wanted to just do a little bit of follow-up to yesterday's project and point a few things out. I'm coming at you from the suburbs west of Chicago, live. If you see that little red button up in the top left, flashing red, then you know you've caught me live. Drop me a comment. Let me know where you're viewing from. Say hello. We're all friends here. If you're catching me on the replay, any questions or whatever, drop them in the comments, and I'm happy to get back to you with whatever. So welcome to Quick Tip Tuesday. This little project was using the Jingle All the Way transfer on some canvas. Actually our canvas banners refills, and I just snipped it and tore, and then to get this little fringe top and bottom, I found the actual best way is to use the tweezers, and I could basically tease a little edge out here. I think I could probably do one right now. Watch, it'll be difficult to catch, right? I mean to see. Grab a little thread, of course, because I'm on camera, right? There we go. Just pull it with the point of the tweezers and then pull it the rest of the way out, and obviously cut on the sides to give it that kind of frayed or fringy look. So that's all I did with the top and the bottom here. And I added some more bells. I went hunting around and actually found them in an unexpected place. These have been around for a couple of years, and they're kind of worn, and I was like, you know what, this is perfect. I like the red and the green. It coordinates with the red, but the idea was, being that this is kind of worn and more distressed looking, my little distressed bells, perfect. So I just added them. So that was easy peasy. When I did this project yesterday, I actually had part of it done before I started. I had stained or painted the embroidery hoop, and I had some questions yesterday regarding how I did that, and I want to show you how I basically did that tonight as my Quick Tip Tuesday. This is an easy way to basically paint or stain something with no additional supplies, with what you have on hand, and it's quick, easy, whatever. So I'm going to hop right into that. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments. As you may or may not know, I'm going to mention this just in case you don't. I need my scissors. I don't know where I left it. Here they are, my other scissors. We're in the middle of week 2 of our Black Friday specials. They started Monday at 11 Central Time, 10 Mountain Time, and basically for this week we had a mystery bundle, which was 10 A-size transfers. I just cut that the length of the regular fringe and whatever. 10 A-size transfers in our mystery bundle for a bargain basement price of $39.99. Well, that was such a good deal that the mystery bundles were gone in less than an hour, which was kind of disturbing to a lot of people. And you know, we're sorry, but they were retired transfers. Not necessarily all the bundles were the same, but I would never advise buying 2 of them, because you might have some that have duplicates between the 2 bundles. There will be no duplicates in our bundles. We will be offering mystery bundles next week and the week after also, though, and each week we'll have different things. So the mystery bundle's gone. However, we still have A-size transfers, which are 5x7 transfers, on sale at 35% off. So that's a great deal. Instead of $9.99, they're $6.40. I think $6.49 right now. I think that's right. Anyway, so check them out. They're I can put the link in the comments here, and you could just see what's there. Some of the things have disappeared just because it's the nature of the beast. You know, there's a high demand for some things. I think our country hearts are gone. But this will bring you to the main page, and for my site, and just click on the black banner that says Black Friday specials, and you can basically see what's there. Hi Justine, how are you? So anyway, I'm sure there's something for everyone. And another announcement, I was just kind of checking on things before I went live, and some really cool news is we have been waiting for months for our, oh wait a second, wrong thing, it's not months. Well, we have been, but they came in and then they were gone. Our countdown to Christmas kit. And we did get some in a while ago, a couple weeks ago, and they were gone in a flash. They will be returning tomorrow. They're obviously unloading these shipping containers at the port, and it's catch as catch can as to when corporate gets them. So the countdown to Christmas will be available tomorrow at 3 Mountain, which would be 4 Central, 5 Eastern. And along with that, the Power Punch is arriving. So if you need a way of punching holes in either our chockable chips or our simple shapes or whatever, the Power Punch is cool. It's nice and kind of condensed little tool. It doesn't take a lot to actually punch through the simple shapes and the chockable chips. So just a heads up on that. On to the tutorial or the quick tip. I'm going to put a pair of gloves on. Just, I mean, I know our paste is water soluble, but why have to scrub my hands and get it all over? So let me just put these little gloves on and show you how I did the embroidery hoop. And you don't have, this isn't only for something like an embroidery hoop. Obviously it works on wood. If you purchase plastic embroidery hoops, I would not suggest it, just because plastic isn't porous generally, and whereas wood will actually absorb the pigment and take the color. And I could have actually done this another coat. This was just one coat to get a little bit darker to match. But the nice thing about using our paste to paint or stain with is we can get them to match what we're using to chalk with. This is my copper. I'm not going to use copper. You generally do not want to use crimson. I mean, you don't want to use our shimmer paste when you're using this technique because they're a little more translucent. If you want to get a little shimmer or glitter with them, I would suggest maybe using like our papaya, which is pretty close to the copper shimmer. And then after the first coat of papaya was dry, then I'd go back with a little copper shimmer, and you could give it that kind of shine and whatever. But by itself, it takes more. It probably takes about 3 coats, and why waste shimmer on that? Use the non-shimmer paste. So let me move this aside. I think it turned out pretty cute with the little dangling bells. I think that's what it needed. And yes, I did do a little overkill with the foliage and stuff. I like doing things a little bit more sparsely, but I think it works. Nice thing about the technique is you can add and subtract to whatever fits your taste, so that's always cool. So I'm going to unscrew this hoop. Now, basically, I'm going to have something over the middle here. So I would want to paint the inside of the inner ring. I don't have to paint the outside because the outside is going to be hidden by the larger ring. And I don't have to paint the inside of the larger ring because it's going to be hidden. So you want to paint the outside of the large ring, the inside of the small ring, and probably both edges, top and bottom. So I'm going to use some of my papaya. And I might need to thin this down a little bit. Oops. Yeah, Kathy's kind of got it dried out a little. Let me add some distilled water to it. When I painted the other one, I did not thin my paste down when I used it. I took it just as it was. And being that I used a baby wipe, it just kind of like slid on and was very easy and quick to apply. Thank you, Justine. I'm kind of happy with how it turned out. Like I said, it wasn't quite what I was thinking up front, but it kind of works. Now this paste, I need to really clean my jar. Use my multi-tool, get underneath the lip or the edge of the jar, and basically mix it all in with a little distilled water. And you always want to use distilled water because you don't want to take the chance of any minerals in your tap water interfering with the pigment of the paste and ending up with a color not like what you were intending. So I'm going to grab a little baby wipe. I probably need more than one. These are kind of small. And just basically put a little scoop, that's a little bit much, on my wipe. And I'm going to paint the inside of this hoop. And it's really quick. And generally, if I want a wood look, I'm going to go with maybe a papaya or a bark and maybe the black. So it's a mixture of colors, just like wood would, you know, you're trying to get the grain of the wood. And I know I have more paste on this wipe than I'm actually getting on the surface. You just have to kind of maneuver your wipe a little bit. And this dries pretty quick, which is nice. And like I said, you have it basically coordinating with your project. Let me grab a little bit more paste on here and do my edges. Much quicker than using a paintbrush. You don't have to be as precise. I mean, it goes pretty quickly and pretty smoothly. Okay, I'm going to set this aside. I think I'm going to probably use another coat on it. And of course, if you have any spills or whatever, you want to wipe them up. You don't want to have big drips on it. But that was pretty quick. It's not totally even. I'll catch it on the next one, and I didn't realize I have a little crack here. Oh well. Oops, and I got to do the other side. I forgot it, didn't I? Let me move this out of the way and kind of continue this. Then I want to do the outer side of this one. And just by the time I'm done with the outer ring, I think the inner ring will be just about dry to hit it with another coat. Oh, I'm glad I inspired you. This was actually fun yesterday. Like I said, it didn't come out quite as I envisioned it, which generally a lot of times things don't. But it was easy and it was fun, and once you get past the stress of like, oh my goodness, is this going to work? Is this going to look all right? And you relax and just go with it, then it's fine. But I think sometimes we have a tendency to put a little bit too much pressure on ourselves, and we have to look at it like this. I mean, with these supplies, there's not that much really invested. I bought my foliage and everything at 40 or 50% off, and I find that if I stick with garlands or larger arrangements, I think one of my arrangements was a mailbox cover that kind of folded over. I get more bang for the buck by just taking the pieces off of it, as opposed to buying individual sprigs or little, oh, what are they called? I want to say, what are they called? The little individual twigs or whatever. I can't think of the word. Anyway, So yeah, it's, you know, it's not that much, and you just play with it. See what you like. Everybody has their own taste and their own likes, and it's the perfect project to customize to how you like it. And then you, like this was kind of stained. I had a blob on there from before. Look at, if I just kind of scrub it a little bit, I'm smoothing that out. See how this is? I just scrub it as I go along, and it just kind of moistens it and spreads it along the hoop. So that's really, really easy. I might need a little bit more paste here. I think I'm going to use this one kind of like a fall thing with our October Grateful transfer from Club Couture. So I think I wanted, the color I'm using actually is Papaya. I might throw a little bit of pumpkin shimmer on it, I don't know. But I thought it was a nice fall color. Time for a new wipe, and I'm going to go back to the first one. Whoops, hoop overboard. And this is supposed to be fun. Relax. Go with it. Don't put pressure on yourself. I know, hard to do when we're in the throes of creativity and things look like they're going south. If that happens, set it aside. Come back to it an hour later, or the next day, or the next week. Amazing how sometimes you'll get an inspiration where something that was so obvious or right in front of you, you didn't see to use or think about it. But when you come back at it, it's like, oh goodness, I'll use this. That's what happened to me with the bells. I'm running around looking for where my other bells are because I have them all over from last year, actually. And then it dawned on me, I had just seen them earlier in the day, and I hadn't even thought about my red and green bells. And it was like, oh goodness, look it, they're right here. I'll just use them. Simple, easy. So see how this is getting darker now? I think 2 coats are going to be fine with it. I mean, I really don't want a flat color. It's wood, so let it look like it's painted wood, because that's basically what it is, right? I just don't want any big dark blobs of paint, like right here. Let me rub that in, and that's fine. One of the things that made me fall in love with Chalk Couture was basically how you can make a mistake, and when using chalkboard or dry erase or whatever, you could just wipe it off and do it again. I watched my first demo and I was like, what? Really? I mean, I was a paper crafter, still am somewhat of a paper crafter. And it was like, okay, you make a mistake if you're stamping something, just flip the paper over and use the other side. But this was a whole new dimension, and it was like I was hooked from the first 15 minutes, I would say. And I just couldn't wait to get my hands on the product. If you haven't tried the product, we have a couple different ways available. One of us are sample kits. Our sample kits are $7.95, and that includes the shipping. Let me just get that dark streak out of there. And it comes with a little tag, not our regular size wooden tag, smaller, probably about like this, you know, not real big. A little ribbon, a miniature transfer, individual packet of chalk paste, and a squeegee so that you could complete the project. And it's cute. It is really a cute project, but, you know, I mean, it's cute, it's sweet, but you know what? It's over in a flash. You're done with it. And yes, you could use that little transfer over on another surface and create more tags if you wanted to. But in reality, it's such a small project that I think it leaves you hungering for something else to work on. I think instead of the sample kits, I mean, the sample kit's cute and everything, but I think our regular kits that are around $20, $24 that come with a surface and a transfer and a squeegee and paste, of course, I think gives you a little bit more to work with. They're usually 5x7. The surface is a 5x7 size, like our 5x7 size, like our board and base. And once you do it on the board and base, you could kind of scrounge around the house and see what else you could put it on. Remember, our transfers can also be used on glass, metal, mirror, and of course wood. Pretty much any flat surface, and canvas like I did yesterday. And material, fabric. Just know if it's something that needs to be washed, you probably want to use our inks instead of our paste, because our paste is water soluble, whereas our ink is permanent when heat set. It is fun, isn't it? And it's easy and it's quick. And I mean, okay, so I've got the inside of this one painted. Ooh, look at, I don't like it so dark there, so let me just get a moist part of the baby wipe, and before this fully dries, scrub it a little bit and see how you could even out the coloring. I don't know if I want to add glitter to, the shimmer to this or not. I was actually thinking of doing some shimmer, but maybe I'll leave the shimmer for what goes on inside of it instead of the actual embroidery hoop. So I think this is fine, ready for another project. I'll just set it aside to dry, close up my paste, clean up my surface, and basically that's how you use baby wipe and chalk paste to paint or stain. Just remember, if you're looking for a wood stain kind of look, go with either like our bark or maybe the papaya and some of our black paste, so that it looks more like a wood type of look as opposed to a flat color like this. Thank you so much for joining me. I surely do appreciate it. Have a wonderful evening. See you soon.